Get off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, home to the Asian Oprah, number one talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Streaker, Spreaker. There's no such thing as Streaker, but it rhymes. And so many more places. Why so many places? Because I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. So you're not going to hear any headlines here. You can get those anywhere else. And 100% of the time, if it bleeds, it leads. So it's not really good news. We do also talk about opportunities for improvement. Don't get me wrong. We're not sticking our heads in the sand for too long, but we are looking through it for solution. And that's what this show's all about. And I'm so grateful for the people who were wrong that said a show about good stuff wouldn't last more than a year. Well, 691 consecutive weeks later, 13 plus years, I'm still here, and I'm so glad that you are too. And I'm really, really glad to have someone here. She's a repeat guest, and better than that, most of my guests become friends, but you know, there's some guests that are even more wonderful and close to my heart as a friend. And Susie Singer-Carter is definitely one of those. She's an award-winning filmmaker, a spokesperson for No Country for Old People, a nursing home exposé that just won an Anthem Award in the category of health awareness film, video, television, or show in the 4th Annual Anthem Awards. And it's coming on the show today to celebrate and to have a launch party because someone is going to be launched on Amazon tomorrow. In No Country for Old People, Susie chronicles the last 6 months of her mother's life in a 5-star nursing home and discovers a system designed to protect our most vulnerable has been flouted by venture capitalists and real estate investment trusts. For decades, greed has caused millions of people insufferable consequences and even death, yet most of the public has no idea until it's too late. No Country for Old People is a cautionary tale and a public rally for change. Please welcome back to my studio, Susie Singer-Carter.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for... Yes, more, please.
I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that, I mean, you chose the date, so I'm not going to say anything about tomorrow. I can't even imagine all the things that you have to do today to get launched tomorrow. But I'm so proud of you, and I'm so grateful that you wanted to come and do this with me today.
Well, you're my sister Leonine. Am I right? Are you
Absolutely.
a Leo?
Yes.
Okay, so this is our month to shine, and who better to shine with than my sister Leo? And not that we like to shine, but I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, we do like to shine. And I'm in 5 planets. I don't know if you knew that. I'm a Leo in 5 planets.
Wow.
Yeah.
You are uber, you're ultra Leo. That's amazing. That's amazing. We'll have to talk about all that later because we have to talk about important things that are coming up.
Absolutely. But we do have to take a little bite of my gratitude sandwich. You remember that deal we start every show? And you can actually put those things into your gratitudes because I know that they are top of the bun, things that you're grateful for outside of yourself. Bottom of the bun, things that you're grateful for inside of yourself, or appreciation. This is a good life exercise that I want you to adopt as a good life habit. Hashtag Blisscipline. I promise you will sandwich your day in the most positive way. So I'm going to start. I am grateful that I woke up this morning and the planets have not crashed together. I have another new day to live, love, laugh, learn, innovate, and drink my coffee. What are you grateful for?
From the out, I am very grateful to have gotten to this juncture in a very long project that is so meaningful to me and to, I think, everybody. And so for me to be at this juncture the day before that we launch, I cannot thank the stars enough for guiding me here, not knowing how I was going to get here, but just putting one foot in front of the other. So thank you, intuition. Thank you, whoever's guiding me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I think, I call him my UPS man, my universal power source, who delivers every morning when I meditate. And we live in a friendly universe. I'm grateful for that. Let's go to the bottom of the bun. What do you like about yourself? And for Leos, this is not a huge problem to do this, but a lot of people grow up being told you're not all that. Who do you think you are? In Chinese, the nail that stands up is hammered down. Don't, do that. And as a result of that, well-meaning parents, sometimes more mean than well, develop in us. We're walking around looking for love and approval in all the wrong places, and likes literally on social media. So this exercise before you go to bed is, instead of thinking about what you didn't finish, what you should have said better, who done you wrong, I want you to fall asleep thinking about, I am appreciative of my ability to look on the bright side of things, even when it's dark. Susie, I think you know that I was about to go on world tour and I got 2 complex, acute, near fatal blood clots. And every day I have a choice to think about what I lost with the world tour, or the fact that I didn't die when I was not on the blood thinner. And I choose the latter because it just makes me feel good. So I appreciate my ability to do that. What about you?
That's great. No, that's absolutely my philosophy. And I think that I learned that, with my going through Alzheimer's, my mother's journey taught me to be very zen in the moment and to really appreciate what's happening now and not be concerned about what's happening tomorrow. Not to be irresponsible, but to really enjoy this moment. And even if it's a difficult moment, you have that moment, because my mom would say, I'd say, Mommy, how are you? She would say, I'm terrific. I am alive. The alternative sucks, and my mom loved life. So I think that, wherever you're at, if it's a difficult juncture, and it's been my creed is that this too shall pass. We will get through this. And the more we get through it, the more resilient we get. And that is a superpower. Resilience is a superpower.
Absolutely. You can see I'm preaching to the choir. We're going to stop with the having breakfast because we do have a lot to launch today. But thanks for joining us for breakfast. I hope that you will join me every weekday morning so that you can really learn this Blisscipline, or as Susie says, a superpower, because life is way too short to stew in your piss-offedness, and it does not suck. Thanks for joining us for breakfast. And now for the topic of the day, it is Susie. No.
Dancing, all singing, all me.
Exactly. The topic, of course, is her newest film baby that I have to be honest, when Harlan, I forgot to say, I'm grateful for Harlan, who connects me to people like Susie and just wonderful people. When he first sent me the information and I read it's not an easy topic to talk about because we don't like talking about aging. I put my bonus dad's little video. I don't know if you saw that. It's hilarious. And it's not easy to grow old. And in the Chinese culture, we're supposed to take care of our parents, right? In the old days. And, that's just not where we are now. And so you do entrust people to your loved ones to places like you did. So at first I was like, this is such a not happy topic. But then, like always, the reason why I have people like you come on is there is solution in this area. If there's a problem, it's an opportunity for us to fix it. So take us through the, sort of your painful discovery of what you went through with your mom that led you to this film. So you did this in our first interview. Some of you have done your homework and watched that. Some haven't. And I see eyeballs coming in the studio. So give me sort of what happened that led up to the idea of this film.
Okay, before I start that, I just want to say, your intro to this is very emblematic of why we've gotten to the place that we've gotten to in this long-term care industry. It's because we don't like to think about it and we don't want to think about it, and rightly so. I mean, I was like this, la 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 la, my whole life, and and so was my mom. Frankly, we were like, we're not going to die and we're not going to get old. Period. That's it. That's the deal. Shake on it. But you grow up, you put on your big girl pants, and you realize life is not always so easy breezy, and so you have to meet the situation. So 3 years ago in 2022, I'll try to make it quick. My mom had run out of her own savings, like most people do. If you live long enough, unless you are lucky to be in the 1%, you will end up having to use some kind of insurance, whether it's, Medicare, Medicaid, you're just going to end up there, especially if you have a very long progressive disease like Alzheimer's and you need assistance along the way. When my mom had run out of money, and she had lived with me for a very long time until she couldn't, when she ran out of money at the assisted living, which is not covered by Medicaid, they were like, it was so nice having you here. Bye. And that was it. I had to find a place that would take Medicaid. I was so lucky, I thought, that I found this place that was in Los Angeles, a 5-star facility. I campaigned to help my mom skip a 3-year waiting list, right? And I was so happy that I got her in, and I thought, on my own podcast, which is called Love Conquers Alls, I was like, I am so lucky that I got my mom in. It's the best thing I ever did. I can sleep at night. She's well taken care of. She's happy, et cetera, et cetera. And then, like many of us learned during COVID, which was very, it was one of the things that it did with all the horrible things that it brought to our nation. It also pulled the curtain back on a crisis, which is this long-term care nursing home crisis, which has been systemic for over 50 years. And all of us who had loved ones in these facilities really saw our parents or our husbands or our wives or siblings exponentially become sicker and more feeble and less vibrant, and eventually many, many people, over 200,000 people during COVID that were residents in nursing homes, passed away before their time. Why did they pass away? Why did all this happen? Because what I find out later is that our system bases its financial business model on cutting costs. And the biggest cost in any business is staff. So they are chronically understaffed. And during COVID, we saw it more blatantly because staff was getting sick. And if you're already understaffed, and then you have say a handful, 5, 10, like I would get notices every day. 12 of our employees are quarantined for 2 weeks. It's like, at one point you're like, well, who's taking care of our loved ones? There's nobody there. And you realize that they're already understaffed. They're not able to take care of the people, even if they're fully, running up and running. Now you've got people, our frontline providers sick, and it's the match that broke the camel's back. We all saw how horrible.
Couldn't hide it anymore.
Couldn't hide it. Unfortunately, when COVID was gone, more or less, it's very easy again to go la 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 la. That's over. That crisis is over, and we don't look at it. And when I won't go into all the details. You can watch the documentary to see, all the slew of things that were happening to my mom that should never happen. Each one of them was emblematic of neglect and abuse, and that is all a result of understaffing. And why they're understaffing is because we have corporations and investors who have banking on this industry and have learned how to game the system. And it's run very much like criminal enterprise. And it's there with related parties, with money laundering, the whole shebang, right? And things that I never knew about, things that I never thought I'd have to know about. And yet this has been going on for over 5 decades. And people are suffering. And, you can't come to any other conclusion than warehousing. And that is what's going on, is that we're warehousing vulnerable, disabled, elderly people. And it is not just a crime, it's a crime on humanity. It's a reflection of where we've come to in our society. And it's tragically sad, and we need to change. We need to do better. And we can't, right?
Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
No.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that you taking, and this is why, you are my sister in that sense, well, in many senses, but the fact that you had enough to deal with, right? Your mom and your work, and you took this horrific thing and said, I want to do something to change where things are. Like, the more horrified you got, the more, okay, this has to be exposed. That's the kind of skill, right? That and superpower that I love to award and recognize on this show. So I think I did this last time, but I just want to do it before I forget to do it, is I want to give you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award for the work that you do, especially in this area.
Thank you. I really do appreciate that, because it is I tell people, like, documentaries, and 99% of documentaries are not money makers. They are change makers at best. And that's that is our fuel. Every day we get up, and it's sweat equity. You have to raise money, and it's not just the production of it. And when it's a difficult topic, and especially this one, living with my mother's death every single day and looking at it every day, and having to somehow separate myself from that woman. And I say to her, as I'm editing and looking, and I was thinking, look at you making change, and you don't live on the planet anymore. Look at you, Mom. And you're powerful. You're a force. And she is a force, because you will see the heart in her. You will see, if she doesn't touch your heart through this, then you're not a human being. I'm sorry. She is funny. She is fierce. Even in her latest stage of Alzheimer's, that woman had more game than I've ever had, and I have to thank God that I have had a mom like her, who was fierce, but also accepting of where she was at. To say, it's okay. This is where I'm at. but I'm life is good. Life is good. And she's going to take everything she can get. And she did. And that's what I kept trying to tell the facilities is that stop trying to make my mom die before she's ready. She'll leave when she's ready. You trust me on that. But
Right.
it's a one size fits all when you are working off of a bottom line kind of frame of perspective. You're not going to see the individuals. You're going to lump them into one. But these are not widgets. These are human beings. Every single person, person that lives in a long-term care facility is a human being with a history, with value, who deserves dignity for one, who doesn't deserve to be used as a commodity.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that the language that's used that is so powerful and hard to look at, but we have to look at is that American elderly are being warehoused. And that's like such a horrible thing to even hear or say, but that's the truth. That's the moose on the table. My, Canadian version of talking about the elephant in the room.
Yes.
That's what this film does, and some of your statistics, from the years 2021 to 2023, nursing homes in Michigan funneled $1.2 billion through related party companies, right?
And
98 nursing homes paid related parties $544 million with little or no accountability, right?
Right. And and mostly no accountability. And Michigan, that article came out recently. That's the tip of the iceberg. That's not the outlier. That's what goes on in all of our states. Of course, people say, well, Susie, there's got to be some good places out there. There's got to be good nursing homes. Indeed. They are not, they're the outlier.
Right.
And I want to say that even if there was 50% of them were good, that doesn't take away the 50% of people suffering in those that are bad. So we have to look at the bad ones. We can't look at the good and go, well, there's at least those are good. No, that's good. But we can't look away from the ones and the people that are suffering, that live in areas or can't go to, this is where they're at. They've paid into it. And whether you're paying out of your pocket or you're using your Medicaid insurance, you paid into that Medicaid insurance, and it should go to you, not to somebody's mansion, not to somebody's private jet. This is why this is where we're not looking at the fraud that's going on. We're not looking at it's egregious what's happening, and we have to look at it. Yeah. And we
choice.
Yeah, we can't just we are very good at validating and sort of, compartmentalizing and saying they're older, it's okay, they've lived their life, they're close to dying anyway. Well, wait till you blink and you're 90, wait till you get there and see how you feel. Maybe you'll feel you don't want to live. That's your choice. But a lot of people in their 90s, I've met them because I hung out at those places with my mom. And I had a lot of BFFs in their 90s who were super cool and super fun and weren't ready to die. So, you may not be ready to die when you're 90. You may be getting your sixth wind and you're doing another project, whatever, but it's your choice.
Yes.
And you pay into Medicaid. You should get what you paid into. That's criminal.
Absolutely. I have a bonus mom and dad. My bonus mom just passed at 92 4 months ago. And my bonus dad's 95 and he's in a board and care now. And the place they were at before that, I hung out there too. I sang the national anthem for Veterans Day, their whole thing, and meeting their friends and playing bingo. And and what strikes me when I'm there is there's so many that don't have any visitors, and they are you just watch them with the less interaction they have, the more they stay in their room, the more sick they get. And the more sick they get, the more sad they get. And it's just this, I woke up with this idea that I haven't had time to act on, but I thought, this is maybe 8 years ago. Why don't we take all the unemployed people and teach them how to run cameras, and the wealth of wisdom and knowledge in these people who are passing or in the sunset part of their lives? Can I get Oprah, my honorable moniker, to fund this project to send people in and gather stories that we can broadcast as a reality TV that actually is about good things instead of, the worst things people can do to each other? So I forgot about that, and just putting that out there, because our elderly have the wealth of learning that maybe we could benefit from instead of warehousing them. That was my
No, you're so right. Let's do that. That's a wonderful idea. I mean, I had this man, Jack. I tell the story before on my podcast because I think it was just such the light of my life. He was 93 years old and at my mom's assisted living. He was in a wheelchair with this gorgeous white hair, shock, and he was like he didn't really want to talk to the riffraff. He had his hoodie on, but he'd seen me walk in and he'd go, "Susie Singer-Carter, I love you." And I'd go, "I love you too, Jack. We're not gonna have sex, are we?" I go, "No, we're not." He goes, "You scratch my back, then?" I'll go, "I scratch your back." I'm joking. I'm not joking about that happened. It actually did. But I mean, this man was such a celebrated war hero. He became a celebrated judge who I was going to sit down and do his story because he's had such amazing stories to tell. And he was so lovely. And when he was ready to go, he left. Every time I go to visit my mom, I'd look to see where that hood was, his hoodie. And one day I didn't see it. And my heart, I knew he was gone.
Well, he's not gone. He's on the other side with your mom, and their spirits are still with us. And she's so proud of you, Susie. Right now, tomorrow, you launch this amazing documentary film. I want to pull up just some of the comments that have come up about the film itself from people that you may know. Their names are just slightly recognizable. We've got Lily Tomlin. This courageous film challenges us to create a future where no one is forgotten or dehumanized. Jane Fonda, who you remind me a lot of, by the way. It tells us stories, and that's a compliment. We need to hear of a corrupt long-term care system that unjustly profits while our elders suffer. Lisa Gibbons, Emmy Award-winning journalist. Susie willed the film, to the public consciousness, and now it's our turn to pay attention. Great. Danny Strong, Emmy Award-winning creator of Dope, Sick, and Empire. Powerful and very important documentary. And it's going to be in time for the National Senior Citizens Day, August the 17th. Didn't even know that was that day. And premiering tomorrow on Amazon, followed by all of this great broadcasting platform. I've got her here today, and I'm just so grateful. Let me pull up the image here. This is what you're going to see on Amazon as the cover for the documentary. And there's our beautiful Susie Singer-Carter. And everyone needs to see this, a nursing home expose, true crime in real time, the dirty little secret that's been going on for decades. And there's her beautiful mama there in the photo behind here. So we're going to take a quick break for news, weather, traffic, and a word from our sponsor, but we'll be right back. Do not go away for more on No Country for Old People, the documentary by Susie Carter, singer. We'll be right back. Don't go away. 2 and 2.
Well, she has been dubbed the Asian Oprah, and she just wants all of us to be happy.
Dr. Marissa, aka the Asian Oprah, says the most important thing you can choose is choosing to be happy.
You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa.
That's the idea for Dr. Marissa Pay's new book called 8 Ways to Be Happy.
Many of us say, I am my own worst critic. Nobody's harder on me than I am. And my response to that is, stop it! Why are you doing that to yourself? You have to be your biggest fan, because if you can't at the end of the day say, I did a good job, who is? We don't have to constantly be angry at the things that are wrong. Why don't we choose to be happy about things that are right? We have the choice. That's our muscle. And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, home to the Asian Oprah, #1 talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course, my YouTube TV channel. Please free subscribe. Give me the finger. This one, not the other one. Now streaming with 1,443 podcast shows over the last 691 consecutive weeks, with an amazing impression number. I just found out 3.97 million. So I am so grateful that we're still here. We're still promoting solution. And today's guest, Susie Singer-Carter, is championing a solution for the way that we treat our elder, that we are not corporate entities when it comes to caring for our elder. And she has created a film, a love project called No Country for Old People. I'm going to play you the trailer right now, and then we'll be back talking to the producer, director, etc. about this love project for her mother. Here we go.
The founder of Cleveland-based Life Care Centers of America is now one of the richest people in America.
Hospice is big business.
Oh,
more money. That's completely inappropriate, and there's terms for that.
What are those terms?
Oh, that's murder.
When cash is the primary reason for doing something.
She's in pain because they're not taking care of her. Sorry.
Oh.
I know.
Anywhere in the healthcare system.
My mother's death was a brutal death at the nursing home.
People suffer.
They're throwaway people. That's all they are, is throwaway people.
We have to look in the mirror and ask ourselves as a country, what are we going to do for our older adults, for our most vulnerable, for our loved ones? And I think that's why you're doing this documentary.
To me, it's the shame of the nation.
Super powerful. I've watched that many times, and it's hard. It's not an easy thing to. I'm getting chills. to acknowledge, right? And I think the call to action here certainly is to watch this tomorrow with your loved ones, and get over the fact that it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, just get over it.
Yeah, it's interesting when you embrace something that is your fear, it becomes your superpower. Everything that you're afraid of, when you embrace it, it is incredible what that feels like, and that transformation is so impactful. I can't even tell you. I mean, I'm the little girl that never wanted to talk about death, and I stepped up with a lot of help, mind you. It's not just me. I had people saying, Susie, you can do this. You are strong, and you're going to find out what a beautiful experience this is. It is spiritual. It is the highest form of love that you can perform, is to be a part of somebody's transition. And, by the way, it is. And by the way, I'm such a better person for it. And I wouldn't exchange it for anything. So yeah, I get how difficult this is. Right. But I'm telling you, it's not. Once we embrace it, we go, it's just like, oh yeah, that's part of life. Just like going to the bathroom, it's like, it is just part of our life. Yes. And we have to just come to we can't be little babies anymore. I don't mean that derogatorily. We just cannot. I am the little, I've been the little girl that didn't want to look at the yucky stuff. Mm-hmm. But the yucky stuff is what makes us bigger and better and stronger. Well, and that's what we need.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also, I have been quite vocal about obviously not paying attention to what other producers want to put in front of you, and letting your own mind being hijacked by media, weapon of mass distraction, as my big brother Michael Bernard Beckwith will say. And if you think about this whole field of elder care, the sensational nurse that was stealing or killing, someone in the nursing home, and those are the stories. This story doesn't really get out there. Hello, and it's not, the attention given to the exhausted, overburdened, unsupported healthcare workers. That's not the issue, right? Yeah, there's maybe one or two really horrible individuals that are there that are evil, but that is not the issue that your documentary brings to the light. Is that it's a systemic, corrupt system where the richest people in the world are. I never understood healthcare insurance and how they can charge as much as they do, and that they run all of the ways that people, my doctor spends an hour with me. It's unheard of. He gets in trouble, right? He doesn't care, because he knows that in order to provide good healthcare, that's what he has to do. But the system that we're living in, this underlying greedy, corrupt, money-driven, screw care. Sorry, I'm on a platform now. I'm putting the moose on the table. It's just wrong. I mean, oh gosh, Carrie Kasem. Yes. She came on and exposed what happened with her not being able to visit her father. And again, it's the system that is the underlying force. It's not individuals, it's the system. So that's your job, was to expose the system. So as you were doing that, what shocked you?
I think the biggest thing was that, my partner, I just want to do a shout out to my most illustrious partner, Rick Montcastle, who was the former federal prosecutor, who was portrayed by Peter Sarsgaard in the miniseries on Hulu called Dope Sick, which was, it really journaled his case against Purdue Pharma, Big Pharma, for creating the OxyContin crisis in our country, which is horrific. And he went up against the Sackler family, and he also did that for another drug called Depakote, which is Abbott Labs, and he won his case $1.5 billion. The problem is that, let me just mention that Depakote was off-marketed to nursing homes to chemically restrain their residents. That happened to my mother. I thought she was progressing in her Alzheimer's, but no, they had her drugged. And that took my mom from a vibrant, very physically healthy human being into someone who was living in a wheelchair for the rest of her life and incontinent, and never got that back once we discovered she was on Depakote. So these kinds of things are going on all the time that we don't even know. We don't even know it, and of course they're going to chemically restrain our loved ones because they don't have enough staff. So when I had Rick Moncastle on my podcast, this was in 2022. He happened to be, hello universe, retiring. And he said he told me that he's the first one to tell me about this being a systemic crisis. This wasn't a one-off with my mom's facility, that he had prosecuted nursing homes federally for fraud, abuse, and neglect for over 2 decades. And although he would win his cases, individual cases, nothing had changed. It had only gotten worse. And he told me, I have this 15 minutes of fame from this series, and I wondered what I was going to do with it. I know what I'm going to do. I want to produce this documentary with you. And that's how that happened. So I was very fortunate because I had Rick, who really knew the political side of this crisis, who was immersed into it and understood it perfectly. And what I found out from Rick straight away was that there is a very, very powerful nursing home lobby, just like the pharmaceutical lobby, just like the NRA lobby. So they are lobbying with millions and millions of dollars, our money. They are lobbying to keep everything status quo and have done this for decades. So they pay our politicians for their campaign. They make huge millions and millions of dollars of contributions to their campaigns, political campaigns. They have embedded themselves in our legislature. So when you wonder, why isn't traditional advocacy working? People are going to Congress all the time. Bills are being, taken into consideration, and then they die. Why do they die? Because we've got lobbyists sitting there being the arbiter of what's going to get passed and what's not. What do you think is going to get passed? Not those regulations. Mm-hmm. And even if it comes down from a president like Biden with his, Buy Back Bigger bill, and that included minimum staffing laws, first of all, the lobby came out publicly and said, we can't afford it. Well, yeah, they could. They were skimming all the money off the top. They didn't want to afford it. 2, even if there is a regulation in place, like there is in LA, Los Angeles, we have a minimum staffing regulation. It's just not adhered to because why? There's no oversight. There's no enforcement. And the penalty is the cost of doing business. That's the most thing that surprised me. So I said, oh my gosh, we have a mountain to push up another mountain.
It's just, yeah. and it's a system. I'm always saying that, people who simplify things like, oh, this is the reason this doesn't work. This is the reason welfare doesn't work. This is the reason that it's like, it's a multi-pronged problem. How can you just say it's one thing that is the solution? This is a many decades of building the faulty strong system that supports what's going on.
Yes, and to add to all of that, there is zero transparency. So even if you deign to take these issues to court, you are not going to get a criminal judgment because you're not going to know. There is no transparency as to who is actually behind it and being the puppeteer, because corporations have these incredibly, strong, resilient veils, and that even our most, brilliant brains who I interviewed have been fighting to penetrate, and it's been impossible. So what is the solution, Susie? Okay, here's the solution. we've seen other movements in our history. We've seen the LGBTQ movement. We've seen our Black Lives Matter movement. We've seen Me Too movement. They're on and on and on and on. And it's going to take the people. It's going to take us to shout out and to be voices for the voiceless. It's going to take us as constituents, and that is our currency. That's the only currency we have is as a constituency, as a powerful collective, to say, knock it off. We are done. We know what's up. We know what you're doing. We got it. We're not voting for you until you put a stop to this. And so that is the only power we have. But let me tell you, it is a power. And it is what change is made of. But we just have to look at the problem. And that's what I hope that this project does. And I hope that it reaches to the younger generations to say, we don't want that future. We don't want it for our parents, our grandparents, but we don't want it for us or our children. Right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's equal opportunity. All of this is equal opportunity. We will all
benefit if this is pulled down. Definitely. So the call to action, first of all, we need to make an official. Tomorrow is August 1st, and the film is coming out on Amazon. Congratulations for that. It's not always easy to get things distributed. So I want to recognize people think, oh, you just do this and boom, it's there. No, it takes thousands of hours, tens of thousands of hours, and lots of different roadblocks to get through for this very, very important. Let's make this movie go viral. Let's everybody family night before the 17th of August, senior citizen. If you love your grandparents, if you love your parents, sit down and watch it. Show them how much you care by watching this film. It's called No Country. Sorry, I've done that like 17 times. No Country for Old People. Susie Singer-Carter's launching to August 1st on Amazon. Let's hear it right now. And I even want to do, this is for... It's extra for the launch. We've launched lots of things actually on this show. I'm so proud that you wanted to come on and do this with me. I am so honored to call you friend, and I'm bummed you're not going to be here for my birthday party, but I also, the romantic, beautiful part of this is that same guy she was talking about ends up being her partner now, which I think is a beautiful love story. And I keep telling her that, that means he's got to have some relative somewhere who is at the same status or one of his best friends to set up with me. Right. So that is, that's your call to action.
We're on the list. It's on the to-do list right here. Right here. I just want to say that it's a 3-part. The film is broken into 3 parts. So you can watch one, take a breath. Maybe you want to binge it. That's good. If you want to go back, take a breath, digest it. By all means, please go and rate it and review it. That helps the algorithm, that helps people see it and it pushes it out there. I want Amazon to go, oh, wow, this is popular. Let's keep pushing it. Okay. So I want it because as I said before, not to make money, because it's not a money maker. It is a change maker, but we can't get the collective to join unless they watch it. And, we have launched ROAR, which is a movement, a grassroots movement, which stands for Respect, Oversight, Advocacy, and Reform for Long-Term Care. Be a roarier with us and help everyone who cannot, scream for themselves, roar for them and roar loud. And that's the way we're going to create change.
Wow. I didn't even hear. Is this an organization that you started?
Yes.
Oh, yay. So let's write. Is there a website for that?
Yeah. Well, if you go to No Country for Old People .com. There's a tab that says the Roarier Movement. You can join and get your name on the list. And this has to be a national movement. Spread the word. And we're working with other organizations that have a lot of experience in this, because God knows I've never been in a movement. I did walk, for Me Too, but that was, there I was with my sign. And by the way, it felt good. It feels good to have that power and that you're in a collective of people that are like-minded. And it is very powerful. It does make a shift. So I really, I didn't want to make a film and then leave everybody to go, well, now what?
Right. I'm looking for the actual website. It's not coming up for me. I see the Facebook. Is it the Go Girl Media?
That's my personal one, but it's No Country for Old People.com.
Okay. For some reason, my Google is taking a break or something. Let's see the next page. Yeah. Put it in the chat for me, please.
I sure will.
Thank you. Because, I didn't know. I love that. ROAR stands for, one more time.
It stands for Respect, Oversight, Advocacy, and Reform for Long-Term Care.
Love that. I'm a roarer.
Today. You're a roarier. Yes.
I'm a roarier.
That's right.
I love it. You play with words too.
Okay,
Are you putting in the private chat or the regular chat?
I'm looking for the chat because I'm looking to see where I put it, because
you can just put it in that.
I see it right there. Okay.
All right. It's in the private chat. Let me pull that up. I am going to share this screen so we can all sign up. And let's see. There we go. It is here. Is that it? Do you see it?
That is it. That's the first. You go to ROAR. If you see the tab ROAR Movement,
yes,
there you go. You click on that, and it'll take you to the ROAR Movement. It'll explain to you what we're doing out, and then you can, when you scroll to the bottom, you can register to be a roarier. There you go.
Absolutely. I'm going to be filling this out. I'm really glad that you have that. I like this. Unmasking the crisis in long-term care. Very cute little
shout out to Annie Wood for her artwork and her lovely artwork. That's actually her father right there.
Oh.
And I love her artwork, and it's so expressive, and it really shows the souls of these people.
Beautiful. So go to that website and register as a roarier. Whoops. Sorry about that. Let's go back to this one. Okay. You mentioned about not being afraid of it, I would like to, this is on the personal side. I was in the room. I never thought I would want to do this, but I was in the room for my bonus dad's friend who was on life support, and they unplugged, and then I became friends with his niece, sort of accidentally, not accidentally, and it was one of the most beautiful experiences in my life. I was just stunned, and that led me to be not afraid, to be in the room holding my bonus mom's hand when she crossed that bridge back into love. So I think part of like we were saying, put on your big girl panties and just deal with it, and don't shy away from things like death or aging and all of that, is I know it's not a ugly or horrific or so super depressing thing to die anymore. Like, it is just, we all come from love. We go to love. These things, Susie, great example of, shining the light on something in that field of death and dying. That is a it is a beautiful restoration of dignity. So that was my final word. Susie, what's your final word?
I said to my mom the night before she died, just to punctuate what you just said, Mama, you taught me how to live, and now you taught me how to die. And that is a gift. That's all, all the in between is the cherry on top, and it's what we make out of it. So make it good and make it meaningful, make it purposeful. And, the blue zone, it's all about why is there a blue zone? Because people have purpose and they have community. That's what life is about, purpose and community.
Absolutely. And I forgot, we are also celebrating. This is also not easy. I got nominated a few years ago for an Anthem Award. Didn't get it, but it was nice to be nominated. But you actually won an award, just announced not that long ago. What was the award for?
We won the gold. Won the Gold Anthem Award for social impact in the health arena, in television and film, and we're very, very proud of that because, coming out of the gate and not knowing how we were going to affect and the kind of response we were going to get. That is for us an Oscar because it's what we want to do, which is to impact and to shift a consciousness that needs to be shifted. So that couldn't be more validating for us. So we're very, very proud of it.
We Leos are so shy that applause is so uncomfortable. Sarcasm is another service that I offer.
Yes,
yes. But so proud of you on so many levels.
Thank you.
Y'all know where you're gonna go tomorrow. Amazon, look for No Country for Old People. Susie Singer-Carter, but you should just find it by the title. Go to the website, sign up as Aurora with me as we are the change, right?
Yep.
That we want to see. Thank you so much once again for coming on live here on Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. You remember this thing with the peace sign? It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out.
Peace out.
World peace through inner peace.
Yes.
Susie Singer-Carter, folks. Thanks so much again for joining us. Go watch the documentary tomorrow on Amazon. Rate it highest rating ever because it deserves it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Of course. Now go and have the best day ever. We'll see you tomorrow.
Take back your life.